How to cut a waistcoat. You fold your fabric into two. You have your fabric, you fold it into two. For the front part of the waistcoat, a waistcoat for an average adult, the measurement I'll be using is length 21, chest 36, and waist 34. Our hip is also 36, so I'm using a chest 36, waist 34, and hip 36, and my length is going to be 21. So the first thing I'll do is to chalk out my length. Chalk out the length, which is 21. I give it 1 inch hemming allowance, sewing allowance. Then for the buttonhole, I'll make sure that my fabric is properly folded in front. Then I'll chalk out from the length 1.5 each for the sewing allowance and the buttonhole. 1.5. Take your 1.5 for the full length of your waistcoat. That will serve for your waist, for your buttonhole, the button and the buttonhole allowance. Okay. So my measurement starts from here. This side has been reserved for the button and the buttonhole allowance. So my measurement starts here. So the width of the neck is going to be 2.5, which is 5, and then it's going to be a V-neck waistcoat. A V-neck waistcoat, and the length of my V is going to be to 7. So I take 7, so I link it to the width of the waistcoat. Remember, we are teaching us simple ways to cut our fabrics. Then take 2.5 from that, the width of that neck, for the arm of the waistcoat, just 2.5. I'm not taking the whole shoulder length because we don't need all. Just the arm of the waistcoat, which is just 2.5. At the end of the sewing, it will come back to 2. So take 2.5 to the corner of that width of the neck. Then I take it 1 inch down for a slanty shoulder, 1 inch down. Then from there I take my armhole. I'm going to take 7 because I don't want it to be too big. I'm going to take 7. Then from that place I take my chest, which is 36. And because I'll be dividing it into 4, it's going to give me 9. So this is 9 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, which is 10. So there I'll carve out my armhole. Just take the actual length plus 1 inch sewing allowance and bring it, give it a perfect curve, and connect it with the edge of that shoulder, which gives your armhole. Then take your waistline, which is, this time around I'm taking 15, not 16. From that 15, place your tape rule to get your waist. The waist is 34 divided by 4, which is going to give me 8.5. 8.5 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, which is 9.5. So I connect it with the armhole. Then I take the last lap of the measurement, which is supposed to be the hip. I'm going to have 36 there, which is divided by 4 to give me 9, plus my 1 inch sewing allowance give me 10. So I'll connect it also with the waist. So this is the shape you're going to have. Then you also link the base. Now before I start putting my scissors, my waistcoat is going to have a little cut, a little V-cut shape here. That's the style. It's not compulsory, but there are different styles of waistcoat. But the one I want to give this particular one is going to have a little V-cut down here. So just measure from that buttonhole. I take 3 inches, and then I take another 4 inches here. Then I connect it this way. So this is going to be my little slant. So I cut out this one. As the front part of my waistcoat. First half of my waistcoat for the front part. So I'll go prepare this one, give it a stay. I'm going to place my hair stay, give it a very fine ironing, both the front and the back for both sides. I'm going to put my hair stay on both. With the hot iron, I'm going to stay it properly so that it will give it body, and then we'll come back to cut the back side of my waistcoat. I've applied my stay to my lining. It's properly stayed. I'm going to cut my lining that is going to serve as the back of the waistcoat. Now this lining is going to be given a 4-fold. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be given a 4-fold. I've folded it properly. Then lay the frontal part of your waistcoat on your lining, leaving out the buttonhole area, leaving out the button and the buttonhole allowance this way. And make sure you have more than enough lining to cover whatever you want to cut. Now here, the back of the waistcoat, you're going to give it an inch overlay on the shoulder area, an inch or an inch and a half. So this is how it's going to come. Just that arm area that will be resting on your shoulder, just overlay it by an inch and a half, and cut this way. You are giving it a little space. Don't go too close to the edge so that your needle can have where to sit on. So shape it out. Cut carefully. This is how this one is going to overlay it here when you are sewing it. So shape it out. And here, remember the style is just going to be on the frontal part, not at the back. So you're going to follow the line on that other area and shape it out this way. So this is how you cut the lining area. Remember, you overlay it by 1.5. So I will go and stitch up this one and we'll come back to finish it up. Now, this is the back of our waistcoat. We'll stitch up. This is it. So I'm going to go join these two together to make it a whole. I'm going to go join this together to make it a whole, and our waistcoat is ready. Here, our waistcoat is ready. Our V-neck waistcoat is ready, and seamless stitch. So it can be worn either way. Seamless stitch, it can be worn either way. Please remember to click the like button. Remember to click the subscribe button for more simple ways to cut and sew beautiful dresses like this. Please like our page, subscribe, and we'll give you more of these simple cutting and sewing techniques. God bless you.